Oh, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. We have a lot to talk about today, so let's not waste any time. In the first update of the day, this is a recent physique update from Nick Walker. This was actually posted up as I was recording this video. I'm glad that I was able to catch it. But Nick actually seems to be a bit more full than his last update. I'm not sure exactly how much he weighs, but I'm pretty sure Nick is probably lingering around the 290s. At a point, he was 300 plus. But he said he wanted to come down a little bit, just didn't feel comfortable. But this back double bicep of Nick Walker is incredible. And I would definitely say so far this offseason, Nick has made the most improvements in the back. You know, the lat insertion seems to be a lot more prominent and thick. Now turning to the front relaxed and the side chest, as I said, he looks a little bit more full than the last updates. As you guys can see, this front relaxed. But Nick still looks incredible. He has to bring up that chest a little bit to just match those crazy delts and crazy arms. Also, I know the quads have come up a bit, but this camera angle honestly isn't doing the quads much justice. But Nick Walker looks incredible, looks huge as usual, guys. Just wanted to keep you guys updated. Now, in the next update of the day, we have a recent physique update from Hunter Labrada. We just talked about 5th place from the last year's Mr. Olympia. Let's talk about 4th place. Hunter actually looks pretty full here, but he also seems to be a bit conditioned. And as you guys know, Hunter has been catching a lot of flack on the media lately for saying that he blends pretty much all of his meals up. He's drinking 6 shakes a day. And a lot of people are saying, you know, if Hunter Labrada were to eat more solid food, he could actually make more progress in his offseason. So there could be a reason why we always see Hunter staying a little bit leaner. You know, he's a guy that really struggles to put the food down. There's not really something I want to discuss too much, but Hunter's legs do look a little downsized here, guys. It may just be the angle, but definitely a little bit smaller wheels than I'm used to seeing from Hunter Labrada. And in the next update of the day, this is a recent physique update from Iain Valliere. And this was actually posted up by his coach, Patrick. Now, Iain should be about 8 or 9 weeks out from the Vancouver Pro. And as I told you guys, he's very, very confident about winning that show. You know, he says he's not going to have to compete again. He is going to win Vancouver. But Iain may decide to do more shows. You know, he's a guy that says he usually gets a bit better as he competes. But I wanted to share this update with you guys. Iain looks incredible. And for being such a huge guy, he actually has a pretty small waist, man. Excited to see Iain hop on that stage. Now, in the next update of the day, this isn't a recent physique update of Hassan Mustafa. We've already seen this. But I just wanted to show you guys this comparison. On the left was at 1 day out from last year's Chicago Pro. And on the right is 3 weeks out from the 2022 Puerto Rico Pro. And look at the difference in the conditioning, guys. Now, Hassan is definitely a bit downsized, but he has a lot more detail. So I think this really shows, guys, a lot of guys that are a lot bigger and have blurred details, such as a guy like Shabun. I believe if they were to downsize just a little bit, they would have a lot more detail. Hassan does need to bring the legs up a little bit now, though, however. Now, in the next update of the day, this is a recent physique update from James Hollingshead. Now, I wasn't sharing updates with James for a while. You know, James had a bad showing at the Mr. Olympia. And my problem with James showing was he was constantly saying that he's a top 6 Olympian. You know, I much prefer what Keone Pearson did. You know, he didn't show up his best. You know, he shut his mouth and he went back to work. But these recent updates from James Hollingshead are really impressing me. He looks pretty good here. And I know that he missed his peak at last year's Mr. Olympia, but hopefully this year, I think he's prepping for the Arnold Classic UK. Hopefully James is able to nail it, because I really want to see 100% James on this stage. You know, James said that he over-dieted last year as well as came in a bit off. He was actually pretty conditioned from behind, though, guys. You know, his back shots were incredible, but from the front and just from the side, he could definitely still need a little bit more size. But this is my first update of James Hollingshead probably since last year's Mr. Olympia. Actually, let me know you guys' thoughts about James in the comment section below. How do you guys personally feel about James Hollingshead? You know, is he a top 6 Olympian potentially? And in the next update of the day, this is just a leg update from Heidi Trooping. What are we, like 7 months out from the Mr. Olympia? And Heidi looks incredible here, guys. He always looks pretty conditioned. Now, something that has been bothering me a bit lately, Nick's Strength and Power always says if this guy was only able to get in the condition of Heidi Trooping. I don't think people can just get into this condition. I honestly believe this is largely genetic. You know, I'm not sure if it's Persian, because I've seen Beirut's Tabani, who also comes in incredible condition, but I don't think this is condition that everyone can achieve. But this is just my personal thoughts on that, guys. I've never seen anyone this conditioned in the off season. Now, the next update of the day, this is from Sibu Cotello. Now, if you guys don't remember, he was supposed to compete at the Arnold Classic South America or Arnold Brazil, but due to communication issues, he was unable to hop on that stage. Now, he did do an interview with Desktop Bodybuilding after that, and he said he believes he would have won this show. So do you guys think this physique would have been able to beat Rafa Brandao? Now, I know it isn't much. Even though he missed the show, they allowed him to come on stage and do a bit of guest posing, so that's what we're looking at here. So what are you guys' thoughts on this guy? I don't think I've heard anyone talk about him as far as my comment section goes. Haven't really posted many updates of him, but he will be competing soon, and I will keep you guys updated on him. Now, in the next update of the day, we have some recent physique updates from Quentin Araya, or Quinn Beastwood, and he said this is from 10 and 11 weeks out. So I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but I think there will be the Tampa Pro and the Texas Pro, and Quentin is looking incredible, guys. I think this guy is just going to need a little bit more time to just get more muscle maturity, because I believe he comes in condition, but specifically in the upper body, his upper body just doesn't seem to get as dry. Taking nothing away from Quentin at all, I'm hoping he can come in and win one of these shows. If he's doing Tampa and Texas, I do know in Tampa he will have to go against Akeem Williams. In Texas, he will have to go against Martin Fitzwater. But it will be very interesting to see this guy on the Mr. Olympia stage. You know, I'm really loving, we have a lot more aesthetic guys in men's open, and I'm very excited for this year's Mr. Olympia. Now, the next update of the day, this isn't much, but this is a recent update from Shabun, and he will be competing at this weekend's Toronto Pro. I will be dropping my breakdown and my predictions for that video probably a little later today or tomorrow morning, but Shabun is looking incredible, guys, and on paper, the two highest ranked guys to place high at this show is probably going to be Andrea Muzzi and going to be Theo LaGreger. So Shabun is looking pretty good, and taking nothing away from the other guys, but he's probably going to get him a pro win this weekend, but we're going to break that down soon. Now, the next update of the day, this is a update from Big Bad Bundy on Instagram. Now, I tried my best to find this guy's competition history because I swear I've seen him compete before, but when I looked up his name, I couldn't find any pictures anywhere. But this was shared by Bodybuilders Without Borders, and he was saying this could potentially be the next Akeem Williams. So I just wanted to share this update with you guys because I'm not sure many people have talked about him. I think Mark's Max made a video on him. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I've seen this guy's physique somewhere before. Now, switching over to Classic Physique. Now, this isn't a recent update, but this is Ramon Dino from the Arnold Classic 2022, where he placed second to Terrence Ruffin. Guys, I am missing Classic Physique right now. I am really ready to see these more aesthetic guys hop on stage, and it's taking nothing away from men's open. I just didn't realize how popular this division was. Look at this physique, guys. This is incredible. This is mass with class. These are some of my favorite type of physiques. You know, as you guys know, Sean Ray, Lee Labrada being two of my favorite bodybuilders of all time. But Ramon is incredible. You know, I believe last year was actually his pro debut. I'm pretty sure you guys will correct me on that if I'm wrong. But at the Europa Pro, where he placed second to Fabian Meyer, and I believe the Olympia was just his second pro show where he would place in the top 5. Immediately after that, he would win the Expo Pro Super Show and then go in and place second at this Arnold Classic. But just wanted to share a little bit of Ramon Dino with you guys. Now, speaking of Fabian Meyer, these are recent updates from him at 5 weeks out of the Emperor Pro. Now, Fabian actually placed 7th last year at last year's Mr. Olympia. Do you guys think he will move up a bit this year? You know, the Classic Physique division seems to be favoring the taller guys a lot. Alex Campanero plays 1 spot behind him. And as I stated, Fabian was able to beat Ramon last year. Mike Summerfield was also able to beat Urs Kalasinski. Could Mike Summerfield and Fabian Meyer potentially hop into their top 5 this year? Let me know in the comment section below. In the next update of the day, we have a recent physique update from Horse MD, or Marcelo DeAngelis. Now, I know this isn't much, but this guy's a fan favorite, so I try to talk about him quite a bit. And he should be about 3 to 4 weeks out from the Expo Super Show, where he will be making his pro debut in the Classic Physique division. But he will be going up against another great Brazilian athlete in Gabriel Zancanelli. I think it's going to be very interesting to see those two battle it out. I think Horse may be a little bit more heavily muscled, but Gabriel may have somewhat of a more classic physique. Now, the next update of the day, I just wanted to share these updates of Jeremy Buendia. Now, I actually heard over on Bodybuilding and BS channel, Jeremy confirmed that he will be coming back in 2023. But as I told you guys, I'm not really too concerned about Jeremy competing. I'm just glad that he's looking good and feeling good, because I remember Jeremy was in a very, very rough spot where he wasn't sleeping for multiple days, just having multiple injuries. And as I think I told you guys before, Jeremy Buendia was my first coach who absolutely changed my life. So I try to keep a couple updates about him here and there, guys. And in the next update of the day, this is a recent physique update from Lucas Coelho. And he actually won the San Paulo 212 Pro about a week or two ago. But look at the conditioning that this guy is in, man. It's incredible. Now, he will also be competing in the Expo Super Show along with Horse MD and Gabriel Zancanelli. I can't really translate his captions, but I think he may be hopping into the open class for this show, guys. Don't quote me on that, but I believe I seen open in the comments under this picture. Now, the next update of the day, this isn't much, but it's a recent physique update from Keone Pearson. Just looks freaky, man. Some of the best genetics, you know, as far as bodybuilding right now, he probably has the best genetics of any current pro. You know, when we think of Keone Pearson genetics, we think of Flex Wheeler, we think of Phil Heath, you know, just bubbly, round, and he looks like he weighs a lot more than what he does. But I'm excited to see Keone hop on the stage, man. He isn't looking at the scale. His head is on right. Keone is going to be very dangerous this season. Now, the next update of the day, this is a recent physique update from Dennis Wolf, who is a retired IFBB pro. And a lot of people have been talking about this, so I figured I've shared it. Now, Dennis actually looks pretty good. I'm not sure if he has some heart complications or if he just downsized a lot after he retired. You know, bodybuilders do tend to have, you know, a little bit of heart complications. But I remember Dennis was actually a lot smaller than this. But he has put on a bit of size. He's actually looking pretty good here, guys. So it's always great to see, honestly, any bodybuilders, you know, anything positive. But definitely great to see the older guys, you know, still working, still staying in shape with everything that's going on in bodybuilding. Now, for some reason, if you guys don't know who Dennis Wolf is, I thought I'd just share some photos of you in his prime. Dennis Wolf was an incredible bodybuilder, and the first win that comes to mind was him winning the 2014 Arnold Classic, even though that was a bit arguable. And in the last update of the day, another retired IFBB pro, Branch Warren, one of the hardest trainers of all time, man. If we talk just hard, rough training, we have to talk Branch Warren, Ronnie Coleman, and Tom Platz. Why, when we all talk about hardcore training, no one talks about Tom Platz, who trained like a complete maniac, and also Johnny Jackson, who used to train with Branch Warren. But Branch Warren still looks incredible here. Marks Max said that Branch has the most complete legs of all time. But I just wanted to share these updates with you guys. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and I'm out.